I'm hoping to put 2020 in a memory box and forget about it. It was truly not only a crazy year, but a terrible, horrible year.
Every piece of the story that we covered this year was surprising and bizarre to sort of be doing it from our living rooms.
The president spent weeks, if not months, minimizing the dangers of the coronavirus, right? Even though he knew as early as February that it was much more severe than the seasonal flu, he was telling the public that it was just like the flu.
You know, we average 37,000 people a year. Can you believe that? And actually, this year we're having a bad flu season. But we lose thousands of people a year to the flu. We never turned the country off.
You know, for the life of me, I will never understand why he thought it was appropriate to lie so much about the severity of the coronavirus during a deadly pandemic that has claimed, hundreds of thousands of lives in the United States.
Essentially, Trump's modus operandi is to say, I inherited things that were bad. I made things much better, and anything that's bad is not my fault. In terms of blaming the past, he was always blaming Obama for having bungled the swine flu pandemic, when actually everyone believes that they handled it pretty well. He blamed Obama for not leaving any ventilators. He would say the cupboards are empty.
We didn't have ventilators when we started. The cupboards were empty. The previous administration left us empty cupboards. The governors have gotten everything they wanted. Every ventilator, we didn't have ventilators. We had empty cupboards when I got there.
Even though there were actually 17,000 ventilators left, which was more than enough that they needed in the spring.
The other thing that I found really shocking is how willing the president has been to promote cures and different kinds of drugs that are just not proven yet.
Many doctors think it is extremely successful. The hydroxychloroquine, coupled with the zinc and perhaps the zithromycin. But many doctors think it's extremely good, and some people don't. Some people, I think it's become very political. I happen to believe in it. I would take it. As you know, I took it for a 14-day period, and I'm here.
And so I think that's really telling in terms of his willingness to sort of push the narrative in a certain direction.
Well, in terms of the election, a lot of it is grasping at straws. He will seize on things that, his advocates or his lawyers have touted long after they have been discredited.
If you count the legal votes, I easily win.
Well, there he's basically saying every mail-in ballot is an illegal vote, which is ridiculous and has been tossed out by court after court.
The constant drumbeat of, denigrating vote by mail.
But no, you can't do that. You can't do the mail-in ballots because you can have tremendous fraud.
Telling fairy tales about vote by mail and the risks of vote by mail, pumping out every day tweets, statements from the podium at rallies.
They're going to mail out 80 million ballots. It's impossible. They have no idea. Who's mailing them? Mostly Democrat states and Democrat governors. Well, supposing they don't mail them to Republican neighborhoods.
There's a good case to be made that he shot himself in the foot, by depressing vote by mail turnout among Republicans or swing voters who might have been inclined to vote for him.
What was stunning to me is how willing the president and surrogates were to pick up on innocuous or, fully out of context pieces of video and promote them as voter fraud.
I don't run the elections. I don't run to see if people are walking in with suitcases and putting them under a table with a black robe around it.
And yet none of the actual reality or the fact that judges have looked at these affidavits and these claims and thrown them out of court, none of that matters. Trump just keeps going as if he actually still has a case. Biden has this history of jumbling things up and getting facts wrong. And I think it's much more of an innocent thing than, in Trump's case. But, Biden is a man that has earned a fair share of Pinocchios over his political career. Trump stumbled over the way he was describing his Social Security plan. The White House kept trying to correct him. Eventually, he got it right, but there were certain instances, and there were news stories that seemed to suggest that he would permanently eliminate the payroll tax. They then turned it into an attack ad.
The chief actuary of the Social Security Administration just released an analysis of Trump's planned cuts to Social Security. Under Trump's plan, Social Security would become permanently depleted by the middle of calendar year 2023. If Trump gets his way, Social Security benefits will run out in just 3 years from now. Don't let it happen.
To me, it was an egregious example of particularly how Democrats tend to play the Social Security card in elections to scare elderly voters that, those mean old Republicans are going to take away their Social Security.